How's it going, YouTubers, trickers, you guys? Epic here. This is going to be a Webster correction type video. It's not a redo of my tutorial, but in a way it kind of is. I'm going to put in some pointers and many secrets that I think will help a lot of you guys get your Websters down better. I know a lot of you guys are struggling, you're having problems, a lot of issues with your Websters, so this is hopefully going to help you guys out and help all that get out of the way. I'm going to help show you how to get your Websters to stop looking like this. Like that, where you're going down. I'm going to help show you guys how to keep your Websters from going sideways like this. Different things like that. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Real quick to kind of reassure you guys that I can do this tutorial. I'm going to do one really nice for you guys, and then we'll start working on the techniques. Nice clean Webster. Alright, so there's a Webster for you guys. Now, the key to Webster is the concept that I call the lift and push concept, where it's a very simple lift of the back leg and a push of the front one. Doesn't matter how far your feet are spread apart, they can be super close. And this also lift and push helps you with, avoid punches. So it's better on your knees because you're flowing instead of going like that and killing your knees. Alright, my knees are giving me issues, so you might actually see that if I fall a couple times through this tutorial. So real quick, to get down to the nitty gritty. If your Webster is going sideways like that, and you're coming out here to the side, and you want to stop that, pay attention to your takeoff, because your takeoff is what's probably going to be the most important part. If you don't have a good takeoff, you're not going to have a good landing. Keep that in mind. So, you have step 1, and you have step 2. You got the takeoff and the landing. If your takeoff is fine, but your flip is kind of funky and you're not landing right still, then there's step 3. You got the takeoff, variation, and the landing. Break and move it down into as many steps as you can until you really understand it. So, the takeoff, apply that lift and push. Doesn't matter how far your legs are. Mine are on average about this far apart. So we're going to start with that. Doesn't matter if you need to run, that's up to you. You can walk into it, but you're going to be here, alright? A lot of you guys know the motion, very beginning of the motion goes like that, right? Well, remember, it's not just throwing your arms down and to launch that leg up there. Alright, a lot of you guys will just throw that and land your ass. Keep in mind that you cannot just throw a movement and expect to land it. You have to control it. You have to, otherwise it's not going to be clean. And when you get it clean, when it's comfortable, you can get creative with it because you gain control. So pay attention to what you're doing. When you're doing that motion, make sure you're not going like that with your arms, because this here with your arms is what's going to make your Webster go sideways. If you watch my foot, instead of going straight back, my foot actually turns because my body is turning. Alright? And it can even turn into a rise, so watch out for that. It's very important that you make sure your arms are going down, one arm at each side, like so, alright? Now, if you guys have this part down really well, make sure that you actually use the loop. If you notice, Webster's a very fluid movement. So, if you watch, the momentum goes down, it comes up and over. Alright? A good way to work on that, or to think about that, is you got this lifting part, get the arms throwing down good, alright? As you're throwing them down, you're leaning forward and going off your center, forward more like that. Keep this leg lifting up, push off this one, pull your arms up. So you're going here, down, and pull up. That way everything kind of goes in and loops up forward, alright? I'm going to do one in slow motion so you guys can kind of see how that actually takes into effect. Alright? Make sure that you're not going to go straight to the side. You really want to control going straight forward. Like so. Now the landings you can always fix on your own. The higher you go, the softer the landing is going to be, depending on how you're used to landing. Alright? I'm used to reaching with my feet, so you get that boom boom. I can fix that if I really want to, but this is mainly to help you guys. If you really want to get it down, drill it, drill it, drill it, because that's how you're going to get anywhere. If your Websters are kind of landing low, get kind of low with your takeoff. So as you're running, don't go like this so much, because you're jumping up and you're going to naturally throw yourself down to the ground. If anything, what I like to do, or what I think a lot of you guys should do, is drop your center and then launch up. Alright? So let me show you the effect as to what I was doing earlier, where you jump up and do that, as opposed to running, dropping your center and throwing it that way. So, let's focus on going one arm at each side. Going straight. That's the hardest part, is making yourself go straight. So you're here. And again, if you're having a problem that you're still not figuring out, pay attention to what you're doing. Let's say, all right, so I'm taking off like this. I'm landing, how am I landing? I'm landing like this. Why is that? Why is that? How does it feel? Are you not getting enough momentum? Are you not getting enough height? Maybe if you're not getting enough height, well, try jumping higher. If you think it's the rotation, try rotating faster. If you think you're not landing right, well, try to land better. A bunch of different things that you can learn to teach yourself. Alright, that should be a pretty good example of how to fix a lot of you guys' Websters if you're having problems with them. I'm going to do a couple more from different angles for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy this tutorial or this mini Webster correction video. Hope you guys helps you guys out a lot. Remember that lift and push concept is very important. Lift the back leg and push off that bottom one. A lot of you guys forget that push part. You focus on the rotation. Remember, fast flip is cool, but if you get high too, it's much easier. So you got 1 and 2, put them together, you got 3. Also, if some of you guys might have problems with your Websters as far as the takeoff, or maybe not the takeoff, the landing, to get a bit smoother, I found one thing that a lot of people, that helps a lot of people is when you take that outside leg and kick straight up, and the first hit that lands, you kind of reach with the balls of your feet towards the ground. Now you don't want to land too hard, you don't want to jack your heel, so make sure you can at least see the ceiling or that ground there, and you're still like close to the peak. That way you'll find yourself kind of just walking out of it. Ever since I started doing this technique and seeing other people do it, I found that we've all been able to just kind of walk out of our Websters. Like so. So when you reach that one leg straight up and set the other leg down, you can kind of walk out of it. Also, when you gain really good control of that pushing concept, everybody has that lift part just fine. That's going to be the good rotation. But when you have that push, where you get just enough push, you can kind of let your body hang down for a little bit. You can keep your back arched just a little bit longer, and you kind of walk out and boop, boop, and stand up kind of like Erie. I'll show you guys a quick example of that. Like so. I hope that helped you out, you guys. Take all that into consideration, apply it, drill it, repetition, repetition, repetition. Don't just do it once or twice and say, okay, I got it. Master it, get it down, drill it, drill it, drill it, repetition, repetition, repetition. I said drill it. Craziness. All right, take great care, guys. Stay positive.